is changing the pressure in your CPAP machine illegal? Um, yeah, absolutely. It's number one on the smugglers list coming into the U.S. You have cocaine, marijuana, and then CPAP clinical manuals of how to change the pressure. I don't even want to know where they smuggle them to get them in. No, it's not illegal. I think that's one of those things that someone just said once. I remember when I was starting, people would say, "Oh yeah, you can never tell people how to change the pressure or anything." I've heard people say it's a federal crime. I'm not really sure who the CPAP police are, but they're definitely not going to come and arrest you if you change the pressure on your machine. It's kind of ridiculous. A long time ago, I was doing these CPAP setups, so I'd drive around to people's homes and set them up on their machines. And I would always be a little secretive about it. Sometimes I'd set it up in my car or in the office before I went. I go into some guy's house. This was like 2003, and the guy has all these like huge flat screen TVs, like like when they were expensive, when they were like $3,000. I think now you can buy them for like $200. But he had this bank of them. There's like 5 of them in a semicircle, and he had all kinds of live tickers going for stocks. He was like a day trader. Guy's in his what do you call it, like a bathrobe, sipping his coffee out of his Ziggy mug or whatever. So it was just kind of funny. But the guy was like intense. He's like, how do you change these things and whatever. And I was like I said, probably 23, 24. Sir, you can't change those. It's it's illegal. It's a federal crime. The guy offers me $100. He's like, hey, how do you change them? I'll give you $100. I'm like, no. So he busts out $500 and he pulls out five. But again, I was still like, no, I'm not going to show you. I want to kick myself now. I should have taken it. Those things are readily available. You can find them all over the internet. It's not illegal. It's almost like, is it illegal to change your prescription medication? Like, for example, I'm on lisinopril. I have high blood pressure. You wouldn't think it to look at me, but I have high blood pressure. So, I'm on a certain dosage. Is it illegal for me to take more than that? No. Who's going to stop me? If I can take as much as I want, or I don't have to take any at all. It's not like someone's going to come to my house and arrest me. Like you're going to have to go to a pharmacist. Every time you want to take a pill, you have to go to a pharmacist because they control exactly how much you take. That's like prison, where they check under your tongue to make sure you didn't pocket it in your cheek or something. No, see, changing your pressure is not dangerous at all. Changing your pressure is no more dangerous than just having sleep apnea at all. I mean, how do you know that there's not a danger in not changing it? It's not like every test. Most tests are good. We take for granted that. I'm sorry, we don't take. We assume that all tests are perfect. Well, we don't know if someone didn't sleep on their back that night. We don't know if they didn't have REM. And so maybe they're not on an adequate pressure, or maybe the technician took them up way too high, and on that night they didn't respond to it. But when they get home, they start having central apneas because their body's not used to that, and they could really get by on having a lower pressure. That doesn't make sense. Typically, the rule of thumb, or I'm sorry, the conventional wisdom, if we want to call it that, is if you have too little pressure, you're going to have obstructive apneas or hypopneas or something, and too high of a pressure, you're going to have central apneas. That's true. But the other danger is that if someone's not comfortable with their CPAP, they're not going to wear it at all, and so it's going to be as severe as it possibly can be. Personally, I just want people to use their machines. But yeah, if you're going to change your pressure, of course it's not illegal. Just be smart about it. They have some machines that are data capable, where you can kind of track your pressure a little bit. You can see, even though it's not completely accurate, you can at least get an idea of where you should be ballpark. And then go by how you feel. If you change it, obviously you're not going to change your pressure if you feel fantastic. That's stupid. But if you're finding yourself not feeling great with CPAP, you have data that you can go by. Even if someone says you're snoring, you know that you probably have to increase the pressure a little bit. So it's, do a little trial and error, increase it 1 centimeter of water pressure. I personally think that you should talk to your doctor about it before you do it. And, still, if they say no, me personally, if it's me, it's my body, I'd do it anyway. But yeah, you have to be smart about it. Look at the data card, try to figure out where you fall. If you're on an APAP, you want to get away with as little pressure as you can at first, but not too low. And have the high end maybe 1 centimeter or 2 above what your optimal pressure appears to be, so it doesn't chase lead. it's not dangerous, and it's certainly not illegal. Whether it's dangerous or not, you can argue that all day. No, I don't think so. That's because you're stupid. Yeah. Yeah, so when I wind up in prison, yeah, I'm going to be next to the rapists, the murderers. What else? What are other egregious crimes? And I'll be the leader because I told people they can change their pressure.